Let's go watch it in 2D. No, let's go watch it in 3D. But if we watch it in 3D, then is it worth the cost?
There's a world full of different trolls. We're gonna build a bridge from us to them with music.
This ought to be good.
The country trolls look friendly.
Trolls World Tour.
A smooth jazz troll?
I can't feel my face.
I don't much care for smooth jazz.
Ready, PG.
Hello. This is Adolph, and today I am reviewing Trolls World Tour. As always, I'll talk about the 3D element first. So, because of the coronavirus or COVID-19, the theatrical run of Trolls World Tour has been killed off. But it did come out. And this is partially why I'm doing this review, because it's a weird thing. Because this is a time capsule in time. Maybe one day in the future, this would be a really interesting thing to listen to. Unlike the movie itself. But I'll get to the movie in a minute. Let's get to the 3D. So, there is no 3D here. I watched it through Vudu, and there's other streaming services you could pay for. And Vudu does actually have 3D streaming available, but it did not have that as an option. And no other streaming services did. So, I know this was 3D because I saw trailers for it in 3D, and it said it's going to be in 3D. Now, instead of getting a theatrical release, Trolls World Tour got a home release, but you have to pay $20. And there's different places you could get it from. You get it from Amazon Video, you can get it from Vudu, you can get it from Fandango Now, it just wherever. And you pay $20 and you have it for, I think it's like 40 days or something. And you can watch it. And this is the quote unquote future, where the movie actually released yesterday, Friday, and it was on demand that same day. There is no theatrical release, at least not yet, because all the theaters are closed because of the COVID-19 pandemic. So the only option was to watch it at home. Fortunately, about 2 weeks ago, I did watch the first Trolls movie, so this is the second. So, obviously, there is no 3D that I could do to... I can't rate it, so it is no 3D available. It is what it is. On to the movie itself. So, Trolls World Tour is a sequel to the Trolls movie, which is based on the Good Luck Trolls dolls, action figures. They've been around for decades now. You may recognize them. They're like cute little dolls that have wild, long hair, and sometimes they were naked. And if you rub their bellies or something, they get locked. They've been around forever. I remember when I was a kid, they became popular in the early 90s, late 80s. So, World Tour is a sequel of the original. The thing is, this movie is not required. Like, you absolutely won't miss anything if you did not see the first one. They explain the premise pretty well, and it's fairly standalone. In fact, the only thing here that has any inklings from the original is, some characters, of course, but like 2 characters that were in the original are in like a post-credit scene. So this is very standalone. You follow the Queen Poppy as another queen. Apparently the trolls have different kingdoms, and this was not part of the original Trolls movie, by the way. They never hinted this, it was just completely added on to this. It almost feels like a script for another movie that they didn't know what to do with, so they're like, just throw it on the Trolls. I don't know, whatever. And, Trolls was very musical. I won't deny that. The original Trolls movie, this is a sequel to. There's a lot of music videos, But this is different because it's more about genres. They do have some licensed songs in there, but they don't play it in the same way as they did in the original. In the original movie, they actually had kind of mini music videos, and they kind of changed up the lyrics and tones and for comical effect. And here, they don't really do that. I mean, they kind of do, but to much lesser extent. It's more about, hey, it's a country, or hey, this is folk, or hey, this is classical, and all the stereotypes of classical funk, etc., etc., etc. So everything here is very basic, super basic. I probably should be adding super to basic, but it's all very generic, all very straightforward. This is gag after gag after gag, and it's not as funny as I would have liked it to be. There's some laughs here and there. It's all just your typical kind of animated kids movie fare. You know, nothing is too deep, nothing is too big. It's just there and just does what it needs to move on to the next plot point. So, yeah, there's this one rock queen. There's different kingdoms all over the troll world. And the rock one wants to make everyone into rockers. And if she gets the strings from all the different places, each kingdom of trolls have different strings. And if she gets them all, she can make a super weapon. And that super weapon can convert people to all be rock and roll heads. And for some reason, she says that's a good idea. I don't really get it. I mean, it's a kid's movie. But at the same time, I feel like the motivation wasn't really there. It was just because. And, you know, the main, like, we don't even know the trolls that we're watching were, you know, pop trolls. You know, pop music. And they have some clever commentary on each genre to a degree. I mean, it's all superficial. It's all, you know, written by amateurs, basically. Nothing too original or fresh or exciting. It's all basically what you expect to happen in a kid's movie about animated trolls and music. And, it's kind of fun that they actually mentioned pop as a genre. I know a lot of people, it's a debate if pop music is a quote-unquote genre or if it's just a category. Kind of like, you know, hey, it's a popular music right now. You know, but I always thought it was a genre. It was catchiness. It was a fun lightheartedness. But that's neither here or there. You know, you get the characters returning from the first one. If you don't know who they are, they introduce them pretty quickly, and they're all one-dimensional, basic. And the movie itself is just okay. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It's beautiful rendered. I think it would have looked great in 3D. A lot of really cool shots. A lot of busy things happening in the foreground and background. But it's all just generic, mundane, cartoon forgettableness. So, yeah. I was actually kind of excited for this movie because of the trailers. I thought it looked fun. And everything that was in the trailers was shown in the movie. And it basically ruined most of the really good parts of the movie. So, wow. You left with the skeleton of a movie here. And it just doesn't really add up to anything. So, on its own merits, I think it's not really worth watching for $20. Or, you know, I don't think Universal/DreamWorks has a streaming service because I could not find the original to stream. I just had to, you know, rent it from iTunes or, you know, Apple Store or whatever. But this is not worth your time, simply put. It is a 5 out of 10. That's my final review, my final score for this review. It's a 5 out of 10. Not worth your time. It's not worth your money. It's a rental, which ironically, coming home to, you know, directly home was cool because that's where it belongs. It doesn't belong to the theaters. It's not good enough for the theaters. And considering this is only one of two movies I saw in the theater this year, It's a new contender for worst movie of the year. So yeah, it's that bad. It's just, I don't hate this movie. I wasn't really grinding my teeth and I hate this. It was just like, I've seen this 1,000 times before. This is all very basic. Nothing new, nothing special. If you compare it to the original, I actually think the original is significantly better than this. I do think they have a weird messaging in both. But if I don't know if I'm thinking too much into it, so I'm not going to talk about it. But the messaging is just really weird because they're like, oh, be yourself, but then conform to everyone else. But then, everyone else being unique. And it's just like, what? And don't trust bad people. Do trust good people. I don't know. It's all very basic. It's fine. It's not terrible. It's not great. It's a 5 out of 10. It's something for your kids to watch if you're watching quarantine at home. Is it $20 worth? I don't think so. So yeah, if you have 4 kids at home, then yeah, that could be a decent, price budget. But no, I don't really talk about budgeting and how much money, if it's worth it, make your own decision. But yeah, Trolls World Tour is not a tour that I recommend. And that's it for me. Bye. Before this podcast wraps up, I want to thank my patrons. Thank you, Kano3D and Mr. Bengal 5 for your financial support on patreon.com. So that's going to be it for this podcast. Thanks for listening. You can find 3D or 2D on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram, and more. Just look for 3D or 2D. Links are in the info box. If you want to send us listener mail, our email address is email3dortwo@gmail.com. Thank you for either listening or watching this podcast. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.